Welcome back to another episode of Personal Branding Phenoms, y'all. I am here with Ciara Morgan, the founder and designer of the Elevator Contemporary ready-to-go wear brand Ciara Chyanne. Ciara was born and raised in Watts, Los Angeles, and she first developed an eye for art and fashion at the young age of 6, and later made her first dress at 15. And y'all, she's been crushing it ever since then. Ciara, happy Tuesday. How are you feeling today?
Hi, how are you? Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Likewise. I'm very happy to have you here with us today. It's going to be a great conversation. Really excited about everything that we're going to get into. Like I was just telling you prior to getting everything rolling, one thing that I like to do with all my guests is just to do some rapid fire questions, just to get us comfortable with the show, the format, answering questions, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna ask you about maybe 7, 8 questions I think I have for you. Just let me know the first thing that comes to mind, and we're just gonna roll from there. All right.
Okay, let's go.
All right, cool. What's your go-to accessory for any outfit?
Ooh, go-to accessory. I feel like a good hoop. Boom.
Gold or silver?
Gold.
All right. What's the most rewarding comment or compliment that you have ever gotten?
Ooh, I love when people say they love my spirit. They're like,
Okay.
I just the energy, like when people talk about my energy, they're like, yeah, I love your spirit. That is like the top tier compliment for me.
What's the song that always gets you in the zone while you're working?
Ooh, that is a hard one. That is a hard one. I don't know what gets me in this. I'm into instrumentals, so like it's just beats. I'm really a beat girl. Like it's not really lyrics so
Okay.
much, but like it's the beat. Like if it's just a good beat, I'm like, ooh, yep, let's get to work.
You know, I've heard that when people listen to music for the first time, I didn't realize that some people are listening to the lyrics and then they listen to the beat later, and then some people listen to the beat and then listen to the lyrics.
Yeah,
I think I'm like you, where I listen to the instrumentals first,
yeah,
and like the production behind the song. I'm like, oh, this is fire. And then after 5 times, I'm like, oh, they said what? So
yeah,
I can feel you on that.
exactly. Yeah, it's the beat for me. I'm a beat girl.
All right. City rooftops or nature landscapes?
City rooftops all day. That's the vibe. I love watching the sunset. It's so me. Like all day, every day.
Waffles or pancakes?
Pancakes.
Fiction or nonfiction books?
Nonfiction.
If you weren't a designer, what would you be?
An entertainment lawyer.
Ooh, why?
That was actually like my very first dream is to be an entertainment lawyer. I think I like to debate and I also like to win and I'm very good at defending people. So
Would you say that you're competitive?
very competitive. Very, very.
Where does that come out? Like, do you like playing games? Like, where does the competition side of you come out?
Probably from my childhood because I was always into sports. I've played like every sport you could think of except volleyball. But I'm like that person, like when I lose, I'm like, yeah, we gotta run that back. I gotta no, like we gotta run that back. Especially like card games. When I was a kid, I used to play with my cousins like Speed and I Declare War. So like if I lost, I'm like I have to redeem myself. So like that's just always been in me.
Nah, you sound like me for sure. Yeah, if we playing speed, listen, I'm gonna need to run that back.
Yeah.
If we playing spades, listen, I'm gonna keep playing until me and my partner win. Nah, that's so real. That's so real.
Yeah.
Now, in every single sport except for volleyball,
Yeah. I tried it out, and on the first try, someone spiked the ball and hit me in the head, and I walked off the court. So that was the last of the last on volleyball.
How did that happen?
Yeah, like literally, she spiked it, and then it hit me in the head, and I was so embarrassed.
She spiked it. I thought you were saying you spiked it and it hit you.
No. The girl on the opposite team spiked the ball, and it came over the net and hit me in the head, and I literally walked off the court and haven't been back. So that was that.
Bet you were like, I'm going back to track, basketball, or anything.
Softball, yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, so let's get into the conversation. When we think about personal branding, we think about who we are, the representation that we like to be able to show the world. And I think it's so interesting that you were saying that you wanted to be an entertainment lawyer, and then you were like, you know what, I think I'm going to pivot a little bit. And I think a lot of people end up having either dreams or goals or just careers that they want to get into, and then they end up pivoting, right? And when it comes to that pivot, it can be difficult because you really truly had to rebrand yourself. So when you decided, you're like, you know what, I'm going to not go down the path of being an entertainment lawyer, but I want to focus more on the side of design. You had that eye at 6, and then you continue to just grow from there. How was that pivot for you when you were like, you know what, this is the industry I want to be in?
Well, it's actually funny because I've always wanted to be in fashion, but I just can remember a
Mm,
conversation I had as a kid. I was like in the kitchen with my grandfather, my great grandfather, and he was like, "Well, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And I was like, "You know what? I think I want to be like a fashion stylist." And he was like, "No, you need to be like a doctor, a lawyer, or something, substantial." And I was like, okay. And so then I started to think about it, like, what am I good at? And people always tell me like I'm good at debating. And I was like, I don't know if that is a pro or a con, but I started to do research on the different type of lawyers there were, and I was interested in entertainment, the entertainment industry. And so I started to pursue that and like, trying to figure out a route to go for law school and all those things. And then I just woke up one day and I was like, this just really isn't me. Like, I'm more into fashion. I love art. I'm a creative. And I know my great grandfather wanted me to, be a doctor or a lawyer. And it was nice and everything. But as I grew older and began to like develop a sense of personal style and just like, realizing who I am, coming into self discovery, I was like, I am a creative. And so I wanted to follow that route.
mm, I love it.
Yeah.
Well, when you say creative, there's so many different types of creatives, so many different avenues of the art. So when you say creative, what parts are you diving into? Like what type of creativity?
Yeah. So, I mean, I think this is a really interesting question because when I started out, when I was younger, I always thought like, oh, I would just tell people like, oh, I'm into fashion, I'm into fashion, I'm into fashion. And
Hmm.
later, like as I grew, I started to recognize like it's more than fashion. Um
Hmm.
like my one of my grandmothers on my mother's side, she's actually an interior designer and a painter. So like living with her growing up, I used to see her like paint every single day. And like I've literally seen hundreds and hundreds of her paintings just like piled up in the garage collecting dust. And that's something that sparked an interest for me because I'm like, oh my gosh, like I literally see her like she can reupholster a whole couch and ottoman, make her own curtains. Like,
That's
I
dope.
would come home from school and like the whole living room would just be different from what it was when I left in the morning. And I would be like, that's so crazy. Like she just literally can make anything from nothing.
Hmm.
Um, so I was like, I love art. I love going to the museums. Like, I love music. I love food, like the art of food.
Hmm.
Just all around, like, I just love anything that is artistic. And so that's when I started to recognize, like, I need to accept the fact that I'm just a creative.
Hmm.
Because I like to put things together and I like the process of creating things that are in my mind. So I think that's what a true creative is they have ideas and the process of bringing them to fruition is what makes them a creative.
And how long did it take you to accept that?
A while.
Ooh,
A
what is a
while.
while?
So I'm 31. I think I just accepted the term creative like 2 years ago. So that gives you a little bit of a
Mm.
timeline. Yeah.
What about it took you so do you think took you so long to accept that? I ask because when I think about personal branding, a large piece of personal branding is that you have to be able to accept who you are first, and then be able to showcase that to the world,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
And the sooner that you're able to have that self-awareness journey is the faster that you're able to really showcase your talents. So
Yeah.
I think a lot of people, they may not be aware of that just yet, that self-awareness journey that they go have to go on. They may not be willing to accept, who they are at the moment, the talents that they have, the skills, all of that.
Hmm.
And being able to hear like, okay, well, maybe I'm also going through this, right, as a creative. or maybe I do have these certain talents hidden within me, but I just don't want to show the world yet. So for you, Ciara, why do you think it took so long to accept it?
I think I just woke up one day and I was like, you know what? I don't like being placed in a box. Like,
Mm,
it's a fear of being placed in a box. And so because I have all these ideas, like one of my biggest fears, and I'll just share with you, is leaving this earth and having a sketchbook filled with the ideas that I'd never brought to life. Whether
mm,
that be like a book that I'm writing, whether that be my home goods line of candles, and I just have so many ideas of things that I want to create. And some of them I've started working on. I just haven't like actually like brought them to the public for people to see. And I think timing is really important on that. But I think I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm more than fashion. Like I don't want to just be limited to just fashion. Um,
mhm,
because we are forever evolving beings. And I think also when you are exposed to certain environments and certain experiences, you begin to recognize, like, wow, I am more than I thought I was.
mm.
Yeah.
No, that's true. We are always evolving. That's something I was having a conversation with somebody recently. How when you are being intentional with your personal brand, you need to make sure that you essentially create your mission statement, your personal mission statement, in a way that's going to allow you to evolve.
Yeah.
And always separate your personal brand from your business brand, because your businesses can change, your careers can
Exactly.
change. Like
Exactly.
one day you're an educator, and the next day, I don't know, you may be a firefighter. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
I say that from experience because that was me. I was about
Wow.
to be a firefighter, then I ended up being an educator. But my mission, everything stayed the same as I continue to grow, as I continue to mature, as I continue to, as you were saying, be exposed to different environments within the country, outside the country, meet certain people, understand different cultures, learn about myself, and explore more. And that's one thing that's so important in your personal brand, is that you need to understand that you are going to grow, right? And you're going to get out of whatever box that you're in right now. And you are multifaceted, right? You have all these different ideas that you're going to continuously grow. And the thing that a lot of people are challenged with is, how do I showcase this?
Mhm.
Right? How do I showcase the designer side of me? How do I showcase the sketch side of me? If I want to be a painter the next day, how am I going to showcase that? I think I also saw that you also do like you have a bouquet shop. Is that correct?
Yeah,
So you have a lot.
so I actually just started a new business. It's called Arrange Me LA, where I do floral
Mm.
bouquets and flower arrangements. So, yeah, that's also an expression of my creativity. I love, love, love,
Yeah.
love, love flowers. And I've always like made bouquets and arrangements, but like silently for friends and family. So I was like, hey, like
Mm.
I want to turn this into like a legitimate business. And it was a side
Yeah.
hustle, but now it's like, I'm doing events and thriving. So yeah, it's awesome.
What's your favorite flower?
A coxcomb.
Why?
Let's see why. It's just so beautiful and I feel like it's unique.
Mm.
Like the way that the flower is structured, it just gives I'm an oddball,
Hmm.
but also like I'm the most beautiful thing in the room.
Mm.
Yeah, a
I love
coxcomb.
that.
Yeah.
I love it. So with everything that you have expanded, right? How are you able to stay centered for your messaging throughout all of this?
Yeah, I mean, so I think it's really important when it comes to personal branding to just embrace who you are. Like, just
Mm.
embrace it. And I say that because for the longest, and I was on a show called Making the Cut on season 3 on Amazon Prime. And this was actually like if you guys watch the show, the season, you'll see one of the judges like brought this up to me. And it was actually one of the reasons that I believe I got eliminated from the show. And she talked about do you feel like you're prepared and ready to be here? And when she asked
Mm.
me that question, I felt like insecurities just came over me and I was like, oh my gosh, am I ready to be here? Like, is this like am I should I be here? Like, why am I here?
Hmm.
And what I realized when I went back home was you should have confidently responded and, let the judges know, like, yes, I deserve to be there. I know who I am. I know who I'm serving. I know what I'm creating. And I
Mm,
think just embracing who you are instead of, comparing yourself to other people in the room and what other people have going is like really, really important. And that was a
mm,
process for me as well. So, yeah, personal branding, like all around. I just want people to see me and see a girl who literally goes after her dreams, someone who doesn't like let anything stop her, but
mm-hmm.
she's like, this is what she wants to achieve, these are her goals, and she literally went after it and chased it. Like, that's what I want my personal brand to stand for.
Why? Out of all the things in the world, why that?
I think because I didn't see that growing up. I never had like, a mentor. I never had someone to look up to ask questions, to have guidance,
Mm-hmm.
besides God, like, but my faith is very, very important to me. And so I think that is something that has been very pivotal in the success of my career and just growing as an individual as well. It's just like believing in myself and believing in what I want to get to in life. So yeah.
Do you have any mentors now?
I do. I do have a couple mentors that I sought out like through programs. I don't know if you've heard of like SCORE. You
Mm-hmm.
can like find mentors through there. But nope, I don't have a mentor that's on like a personal level, I would say.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Would you want one?
I wouldn't mind. I definitely wouldn't mind. Like, I feel like everybody needs somebody to, help guide them, whether that be like spiritually or career wise or whatever.
Yeah,
Relationship wise. You should always have somebody in your life to help guide you through that. So yeah.
I definitely can agree with you, align with you on all of that. I One of my mentors, I didn't even know that was really a thing. That he said he had about 4 or 5 different mentors. He said he had a mentor for relationships, for finances, for business,
Yeah.
for his hobbies, like everything. I was just like, good Lord, you just have a board of directors over here in your phone book. It's ridiculous. So
Right.
that's
Yeah. No, that's important because you can't go to someone that you go to for career advice on necessarily like spiritual advice. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah.
I wouldn't trust certain people with certain areas of my life. So I think that's important to
Hmm.
have mentors for, every in different areas of your life. Yeah.
Mm, no, so true, so true. I want to go back for a second. So you're saying how you want to be able to showcase your personal brand as the woman that has ideas, like is executing on them, is like going to go get it. One, I love that because I feel like that's also me. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
I'm also that same person. That's why I had to ask you, like, well, why do you want to
Mhm.
showcase that? Like, that's me. If I'm having an idea about a book, next thing you know, 3 weeks later, the manuscript is done and
Right.
pre-orders are out like 2 weeks later.
Right.
Um,
You know what? That's so crazy because like this is how this book came about. My book
mm,
scene. It's actually a daily faith journal. But it
mm,
has prompts inside and like literally I think like so I had the idea for about a year. I started working on it, but I finished the cover front and back overnight in like 9 hours and published it on Amazon like the next morning, literally. Like, so this happened in like 24 hours. So I was just like, this idea that I've had in my head for a year, like I have to get it out tonight. Like I drank an energy drink and I was like, no, it's happening tonight. Like,
so what? And I think that's something that happens for a lot of people, right? When it comes to the brand, sometimes we're going to talk about a product here, your book, but also in terms of personal branding, you have an idea for something that you want to do, and you're like, you know what? I know this will be good. I know people will like this. I know people need to see this side of me, and I just can't get it finished right now for whatever reason. Maybe they're overthinking, it's imposter syndrome, whatever. You had that book idea, or maybe you had also started it in the process for a year, and then something switched. Energy drink, I don't know, C4, Celsius, I don't know,
yeah,
whoever sponsor her, but
right.
it got done in 24 hours. What was that realization for you? What was the conversation that you had that you were like, you know what, I need to stop holding on to this so the world can be able to receive my gift?
For me, I think I battle with a lot of procrastination because I have a sense of always wanting to be perfect. Um, and that's something that I've, battled with for years, but I'm just like, you just come on, 12 months. You've had this idea for 12 months and you like, what are we doing? Like, it's literally the edit is sitting in the Canva. Like, all you need to do is go through the process, publish it on Amazon. It literally doesn't take all that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and like I said, one of my biggest fears is leaving this earth and having a sketchbook filled of ideas that I never brought to life. So this year alone, 2024, was that year for me where I was just like, every idea I have that I want to do, I'm producing. Like, I'm not sitting on it. Like, just make it happen.
How are you making it happen? Like, do you have a team? Is it all you? Are you running off energy drinks right now? Like, how are you making this happen?
I do have a very small team for my brand, Ciara Chyanne, for my clothing brand. When it comes to stuff like this is like an individual project. So no, I do not have a team. But I'm just like one of those people is just like, stop making excuses. Like, I hate excuses. Like, I'm one of those people like, stop making excuses. Like, when I hear people like complain about things, I'm just like, okay, but what are you doing to fix it? Like, what are we doing to move forward? So I'm just like one of those people. So like when I recognize like I'm just sitting on an idea and I'm just like, girl, like, let's go. Like, there's, you know what I'm saying? Like, time doesn't wait for anyone.
Facts.
So yeah, I just try to like push myself, but I will sit on ideas for like, I mean, I have more ideas I've been sitting on for like 3-4 years, still haven't put it out. So it's just
Well,
about the
what you waiting on?
pipeline, huh?
What you waiting on?
That's what I mean, the thing is when you're a creative, you have
Uh-huh.
so many ideas. And so it's really about like refining it. And when we talk about personal brand, it's like, okay, but does this align with my personal brand or is this just a good idea? And I think that
Oh.
that's like something that I this is like something I live by, a life lesson, but like I go, is it a good idea or is it a God idea? And so like I kind of check in and I'm like, okay, I can come up with all the ideas in the world, but does that align with the season I'm in right now? Does it align with my personal brand? And does it align with my purpose in life? So that's like kind of like the questions that I ask myself. So yeah.
So at what point, if you realize that something is a good idea, not a God idea, at what point do you just scrap it? Or do you not scrap it?
I kind of just hold on to it because I'm like, I don't know if it, may resurface at a time that needs to, I need to produce it. But I'm a spiritual person. So I pray about things and I go like, because I've done this. So I've been in this rat race before where it's like, I'm producing. And it's like, okay, but then like, was there strategy behind that? Like, was there, were you just doing things just to do things? You get what I'm saying? Like, am I just doing things because other people are doing things, or is it just because it was just an idea, or like, So
I'm
I have to
talking to
like,
myself right now, I swear.
yeah. So I have to like pray about things. I'm like, okay, God, and I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been presented some amazing opportunities, and I've turned them down because I'm like, that just doesn't align with what I'm doing right now in this season. And I pray about it. And if I don't get an answer to go on it, then I won't go.
Are you at liberty to say what some of those opportunities were?
So I'll say like for instance, like collaborations. So I don't know if you've heard of like Shein, whatever. I designed I went through the process, which is crazy. I've signed the contract and I've
Oh,
designed
wow.
a whole collection. And I woke up one day after praying about it and I was like, I don't think this is the right move for my career. Everybody's telling me to do it, that I would, make a lot of money. They have an amazing platform. It's a global, company. Everybody shops on Shein. But I was like, ethically, I don't even know if that's aligning with my brand ethos. So it was like I had to turn that down. And of course I could have made a lot of money, but I finished the collection and did all these things, but sometimes that happens. You get presented opportunities and you really do have to check in and say, is this a good idea or a God idea?
Do you ever find it hard to turn down opportunities or put ideas to the side because it's not aligning with the personal brand that you're looking to build?
Yes. Yes. I've turned down opportunities. So for instance, even like podcasts, let's say for instance, like I'll do research And if I don't feel like a podcast is putting out information that can help someone, that
Mhm.
can help someone like grow spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. And it's just like, because I feel like we do live in a very like culture of just like everyone wants to have a platform, everybody just wants to, be in front of the camera. But
Mhm.
my thing is, are we just having like conversation, or are we having conversation with intent? And so, like your show
Mhm.
here, I feel like your conversation, you're very intentional about the conversations that you have, when it comes to personal growth and personal branding. And so, I will turn down opportunities if someone's like, "Hey, Ciara, I want you to come on the show," or "I'm having an event. I want you to participate in it. I want you to be a sponsor. I want you to do this." Like, I will turn down things because if I feel like the material doesn't align with who I am,
Mhm.
especially the woman that I'm growing into becoming, that I know I want to be, then
Mhm.
yes, I will turn that down.
Mm. First of all, also thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I could tell when we were talking on Instagram briefly. Y'all, she was, I can't remember word for word, but you were definitely asking me like, so what is the show about? What are you gonna be asking me? Can you send me the questions? I was like, oh,
Yeah.
she vetting me. I don't get this too often.
Right.
And I like that. I really do. I really do, because like you said, you really had to understand the show that you're about to go on. There was, oh my gosh, there was just one show that I was on, and I had been on the show before, and so it was like straight or whatever. And then we ran back a second episode,
Hmm.
and in the middle of the episode, the person was doing a segment, and it's like, all right, cool, we about to start talking about OnlyFans. I was like, what you what you, what you mean by that, my good
Yeah.
sir? I'm like, I'm not going down that route. I don't talk about nothing about
See, and
nothing
I
about
would have been
OF.
thrown off, and then I would have been uncomfortable. And then I'm the type of person, like I might be like, okay, yeah, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap it up.
The way I was answering those questions, you would have thought I was a politician. Like,
Oh, so you
I
still you
remember,
answered this?
yeah. So I still went through the whole episode. I remember finishing the episode, and my fiance always asks me every single episode, podcast thing, show that I do, whether it's my own show or somebody else's show. She's like, "How's it going?" I'm like, "Man, this man was." I told her we were talking about and she looked at me so sideways. She was like, "Hey, you stayed up there." I was like, "But listen, you got to listen to the episode, though. You got to listen to."
Right.
Long story short. So, the segment was something like, as a man, why are you, or something like that. I think it was like, as a man, why do you have an OnlyFans account, or something like that.
Hmm.
And so then he was like directing a question to me, and I was just like, well, everyone is at liberty to make money how they can, and they want to. At the end of the day, it's hard to pay bills out here. So if you have an avenue that you want to be able to make money, and you're comfortable with yourself, and whatever you put out there in the world, go do you. Like,
Right.
it doesn't matter. And then after that, I was like, cool. So what else we talking about?
Right,
Like,
right,
let's
right,
move
yeah.
on to the next subject for real.
Yeah. See, and
I
I've
wasn't
been
here
in a
for it.
situation like that before. I've been on a podcast where the girl was like, you know, kind of gossiping, and she was trying to get the tea. Like, she was like, "Oh, so when so and so and so and so," and I was like,
Hmm.
I did a fake laugh, like, and changed the subject, because it's like, I'm not about to like start talking about other people on this show. Like, I'm not here for that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'm not here to talk crap about other people. Like, I just personally, I'm not a gossiping type person. So like that, I was uncomfortable. So yeah, I have to make sure like I know what I'm walking into.
No, that's real. That's real. Everyone should, honestly. So let's I'm gonna connect this a little bit and go back to a couple other things that we said. So when we think about personal branding, one thing is how you show up in certain places, right? With personal branding, it's the perception that people have of you, for everyone listening right now. And you're able to cater that perception, or narrow it down just based on everything that you say, everything that you do, places that you show up, whether it's physically or virtually. And it's more than what you post on social media, because everyone's had a personal brand way before social media existed, right? Like I said, it's just a perception that people have of you. So in your case here, how are you picking and choosing? I know you're saying like you want to be able to vet out the places that align with you, but how are you actually finding places that align with you to be able to show up. So say, for example, for myself as a creative as well, and creator, I'm looking up conferences to go to. And I'm looking to go to author conferences, podcasting conferences, and stuff like that, to go be in the rooms in those environments of those people, so I can shake hands, we can meet, all that type of stuff, network. So how are you able to, or where are you going to find these environments for yourself to grow your personal brand?
Oh, that's a great question. So you're asking, okay, so let me just make sure I understand. You're asking what environments am I finding to be
Mm-hmm.
around other like-minded individuals that will help me
Yes,
grow
for
my
yourself.
personal brand? Okay.
Mm-hmm. How do you find that?
Oh, okay. I mean, I do use social media as an outlet. I follow a lot of people I feel like would be like-minded. I'm actually doing a purge right now. I've been on social media, like kind of going through followers, not
Mm-hmm.
followers, people I follow, and
Okay.
going, okay, like for instance, there's a girl that I personally know that I went to college with, and I think she's amazing, like amazing style. She's into fashion, all that, but I have to protect my eyes and what I see, and my ears and what I hear. That's just personally me. Because I do think that the things that we see, the things that we hear and we look at for entertainment does um affect us personally. And
Mm-hmm.
so I am a Christian, and so I saw that she was like dibbing and dabbing in like witchcraft and like tarot cards and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
sorcery, whatever. And so like I will unfollow somebody who does that. And I know the typical person would be like, oh, okay, that's just what that person does. And that's fine. I'm not judging anyone. But personally, me, like I like to edit down like what I'm taking in on a daily, because I think that it does affect you. And so, for instance, like I like to go to a lot of networking events. I do go to a lot of seminars when it comes to self-help. I read a lot of self-help
Mm-hmm.
books. So if there's
How are you
anything,
finding these seminars and events?
um usually they're like word of mouth. So like in
Mm-hmm.
January, like this year actually, and I'm doing it this upcoming January in 2025, a friend referred me to this 31-day wisdom challenge, like with this pastor. And when I got in there, it was like the top of the top. Every day was like a public speaker that you would die to be in the room with. And we're on Facebook Live. It's maybe like 400 people in the room. I mean, that's a lot of people, I guess, on Facebook Live. But I feel like I'm very close knit to these people. Like, and I'm like, wow, like
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing them. And this is an intimate conversation we're having. So, like
Mm-hmm.
that 31 days of just hearing 31 people talk about like self-help and like spiritual growth and all those things, like that helped me to propel my year for 2024. That set me up to, be in more spaces. So it like made me mentally prepare of like, okay, what type of rooms do I want to be in? What type of people do I want to be around? Like I said, like I'm not a gossiping person. So like I don't like being in conversation of gossip, and like if we aren't talking business, if we aren't talking, spiritual growth or finance growth, anything of that nature, I don't want to be in the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so
Yeah.
I'm like very particular, like I don't like wasting a lot of time either. Like I don't watch TV a lot. Like I'm like just one of those people, like I'm all about like productivity. So seeking that through mutual friends, word of mouth. And yeah, I typically just hang around people who are like-minded. So yeah.
Okay. Okay. So definitely keeping a circle that is aligning with who you want to be and who you want to become as well.
Yeah, and I
Okay.
think you have to like just, sometimes you have to experiment. So like now I take real estate classes. I don't desire to get my real estate license, but I do
Good
want to.
gracious.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get a real estate license. I'm taking the classes because, I just want to learn about the industry. My mom was in real
Mm,
estate, so like, she's always like, get your license. I'm like, that's not really what I want to do. Like my lane is in fashion right now.
mhm,
But I do want to own investment properties. And so I feel like I need to be in the room with people who are in the real estate industry so that I can hear the ins and outs. And so like just being placed in that room with like, investors who've been at this for 20 plus years, like they can give me some insight on like, the mistakes they made so I can have that learning curve and just, you know what I mean? Like just being around people who either obtain the lifestyle that you want or also on the journey to obtain the lifestyle that you want.
I just had a question pop up in my head, and I have got to ask you this. I have to ask you. As a designer, we're talking about personal branding, and we've already kind of covered how you want to be portrayed, right? How you want people to see you and think of who Ciara is. But as a designer, you are creating the designs and the clothes that someone is putting on, and it's going to make them feel a certain way, right? Like when I put on this branded polo, I feel professional. I put on a hoodie, I don't know, with some positive words on it, I feel happy. Like, I don't know, right? It varies. But as you are designing your clothes, how do you want the person that's wearing it to feel? And how do you want them to see themselves in this world?
Yeah. So, my woman, the Ciara Chyanne woman, she's a go-getter like me. But she also, like, that is a part of the identity of the Ciara Chyanne woman. She doesn't like to feel like she's placed in a box. So however she wakes up in the morning, whatever her feelings are, her emotions, she likes to express herself and not be confined to one personal identity. That's actually a part of my statement. Is like, speaking about personal branding, like, I don't like to feel confined to one identity. Like, I hate being placed in a box. Like, I hate when someone's like, oh, like, I would say 2021, like, I designed this collection, and this is when, like, bright colors start to take off, and, like, everybody was designing collections with bright colors. I had designed that collection. It had been sitting. So by the time I put it out, I started to notice, like, all these brands were doing these bright color collections. But I started to notice when people would see me in public, they would say, oh my gosh, you're the girl who designs a like bright colored collection. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm so much more than that. like I love being recognized for that. But I was like, oh my gosh, I have to prove myself. Like I don't just do bright colors. Like, I can make sophisticated black, sexy, chic pieces too. Like I can do it all. So yeah, I think that's like kind of where it stems from.
When you said that, it's funny that we talked about this connection earlier, but it reminded me of Tyler the Creator, because there was one interview that he had, and I think it was with a radio host, and I think he was talking about the instance with like DJ Khaled and how people were like, oh, he makes certain type of music and that's all he can make. And then he went and made Igor. And then after that, he went and made Call Me If You Get Lost. And then after that, he started really being experimental with his apparel. And then he ended up with Golf the Floor. And like everything just kept on going and it just kept on expanding, because his main thing was, I don't want to be put in this box. Like when people look at me, I don't want them to just think about a rapper. When people think and see Ciara, you don't want them to just look at you as the girl, the woman that designs clothes. And when people look at me, I don't want them to just see a speaker. For the longest of time, it was just a videographer. So for what advice would you give someone that they know they are multifaceted and they have all of these different skills and talents that the world can receive, but when they see them, they just see one thing?
So what would I give the advice of the person who people see them as one thing?
Yeah, and that they don't want to be stuck in that box.
Well, I would say keep working at the things that make you happy, the things that bring you joy, because eventually people will see that you are multifaceted. I think it's a process. It doesn't like happen overnight. And I was thinking about this conversation. Was that an episode with you? I'm trying to think. I was listening to some podcast and it was talking about like 50 Cent had a conversation with someone. He was talking about your catalog. No, that wasn't. It was an actor.
That wasn't me.
So I can't think of his name, but he's on that Tyler Perry show. But anyways, he was saying him and his wife used to like make these funny videos on Instagram all the time. And of course, like as a creative, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, all of these things, we get, a little bit intimidated when we don't see a lot of likes and a lot of comments and a lot of followers and all these kind of things. But he said that one thing 50 Cent told him when he finally met him in person is he said, keep going, because what happens is when one of your videos goes viral, everyone's going to see all the work you've posted, your catalog, right? Essentially. And so if you don't have those videos, you don't have that catalog, and when someone goes to your page and they don't see all that, then that's when you won't grow. And so I just tell people to keep going, just keep going, keep posting, keep doing, keep creating, keep developing, keep producing, keep doing all of those things, because eventually you're going to run into the right person on the right day. And word of mouth is everything. Like a lot of the opportunities that I've gotten is because someone saw the work that I've done and they went and told another person. And then that person said, hey, call her up. We want to invite her here to do this for that. You get what I'm saying? And so I think that if you're trying to grow your personal brand, you do have to just keep putting out what you love and what you like and what brings you passion. Because if it doesn't bring you passion at the end of the day, it's pointless.
There's not really much I can add on top of that. Is that's so true. I talk about that a lot with some of my mentees. It's a long game. Your personal brand is going to become built overnight. And the more that you have that catalog that you're speaking of, I refer to as a portfolio sometimes, just things that you built up over time. And when somebody discovers you, they see like, oh, this person has all these books, or they have 100 podcast episodes, and that allows them to binge watch you and become more of a fan, or binge read, whatever it is. And that allows them to have that trust factor immediately that they can have with you when they discover you. So, Ciara, I have a couple more questions for you. But as we start to wrap up here today, because I want to make sure that I'm mindful of our time, especially since you got a lot going on. This ain't the only show you're doing today, so I want to be able to give you some peace of mind. One thing I always love to ask people when they're on this show is, what was success to you 10 years ago, and what is success to you now?
Oh, I love this question. 10 years ago, success to me would probably be, oh, I'm a multi-millionaire. I'm in my beach house in Malibu. Like, I'm driving my dream car. I can buy any Chanel bag I want. To me, that's what success was. And then it started to progress over time. I'm like, okay, now success to me is women wearing my brand globally around the world and starting to recognize, people recognizing the validity of my brand and loving the products that I put out. Now, if you ask me that question today, my definition of success is simply walking in your purpose. I think that is what true success is, because you can achieve all the dreams that you have, but if you're achieving something that's outside of the reason why you were created and placed here on this earth, it has no substance. And that's my personal opinion, but I'm like, okay, God created me for a reason to be here on this earth during this time at this moment for a reason. And so I had to really figure out what that purpose was. And I'm like, at the end of the day, really none of this matters. Like, when we leave this earth, like, none of this, all of these things that I'm achieving and all the, success per se, quotation marks, all the material things that I'm obtaining, like, none of this matters. So it's truly about like, oh my gosh, am I walking in my purpose? Am I doing what I was called to do by the creator who created me? Because I was created for a reason. And so I feel like if you don't know that reason, it's time to figure that out. Yeah.
And lastly, how can people find you and how can they support you?
Yeah, so I am across social media. My brand Ciara Chyanne. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads, TikTok, all that good stuff. So it's at Ciara, CiaraChyanne, and then there's an underscore. And then my personal brand is just designer Ciara, Ciara. And you guys can follow me on YouTube too. I'll be posting a lot of new videos on there this year. So yeah.
Fire. Well, Ciara, thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to share your wisdom, your knowledge, your experience with us, how you've been able to grow your personal brand within the fashion industry. Y'all, this has been another episode of Personal Branding Phenoms. Make sure you reach out to Ciara on all platforms that you are active on. Share this episode with someone else, especially if you know that they are within the fashion industry, because she dropped a whole lot of gems that definitely need to be heard. Y'all, we will catch y'all on the very next episode. See ya.
Bye. Thank you for having me.